What's going on, everybody? Coach Al here, and today I wanted to do another formation breakdown. This time we want to cover shotgun wide trips. Just a random formation I thought of, and that's probably the way I'll do it for the rest of the series. Just whatever floats my boat at the time. That's what I'll pick, and I had wide trips on my mind, so that's what we're going to cover today. Pretty popular formation, especially if you're a gun option, just any type of gun type of system. It's got a little bit of everything for everybody. You could be option, you could be, spread, you could be pass happy. There's a lot of good stuff in this formation. There's a few plays that aren't all that great, but the majority of it is pretty good, and I like it. So first of all, let's talk about the sub packages. Here you got your base set. It's an 11 personnel with 3 wide receivers, a tight end, and a halfback. Your first sub package is strong slot. It just moves your top receiver to the slot. Next, you got halfback slot. It is as it sounds. Moves your halfback to the slot. Backup quarterback, self-explanatory. Tight end slot, put your top tight end in the slot, and your backup tight end replaces him. Fullback, you put your fullback at the halfback position. Wide receiver flip, it flips your top 2 receivers. And halfback sub, that is self-explanatory. Okay? Now let's just talk about the basic motions. The easiest way to do this is to pick a drop back pass play. Let's just click, we'll pick LB attack. Let's start off, always start off with the down arrow on the D-pad. Who brings it up first? Here we got the halfback. He can go in either direction. He can go to the left. He now becomes a receiver in terms of the hot routes you want to change him to. The same if you move him over to the right. Next up, we have the tight end. He can only go to the left. But this is kind of an important motion. You'll see that here in a little bit. Very useful. But he can only go back and forth between tackles. Next up is your Z receiver. You can only go left. He'll go over to the slot on the left side, as such. You move him back. Next is the slot himself. No different than the Z receiver. He just becomes the slot on the left. And that is it in terms of the motions. You cannot motion the X receiver on the far left, or square, whatever you want to call them. In football terms, I just tend to do X, Y, Z. Okay, that's all it for the motions. Now let's break down the plays. We'll start with the run plays. And if you open up the formation, all of your run plays are on the middle of the screen. You got QB choice, QB draw, inside draw, speed option, and halfback direct. Now, at least half of those were quarterback-oriented run plays. So what we're going to do, we're going to put in a quarterback that can at least run a little bit. We'll put in Carey and Meyer. I just picked Kansas as a random team. We're going up against Kansas State. It should be an even matchup. Okay, first up is QB choice. It works no different than any other QB choice in the game, except you kind of have to remember about who you can move around. Here, you can look and see your right tackle pulls. If he's fast enough, most of them are not, he could pick up somebody. It just depends on what the defense is doing, blitzing from that side, or what have you. Okay, we'll go up against nickel. You're going to see this a lot. I'm glad that the computer done this. The defensive line shifts to the side you're going to run to. You can't flip QB choices. I wish you could. It would be awesome, but you can't. At least with wide trips, you can move your tight end over, and you can hand this off. That was terrible block. That guy still came through. But as with any QB choice, you have the choice of actually keeping it with the quarterback, but it's kind of risky. The blocking has to be great, and you got to have a quarterback that can really fly. Meyer has only got 78 speed, so I'm not going to expect too much. The defensive line shifted to our left, so I'm going to go ahead and move that guy over. It didn't matter. We can try this again. You can leave him over there, or you can motion him over. I just left him. We picked up 5 yards right there. Here they are blitzing the right nickel, or the only nickel on the field. That's a little bit better blocking by the tight end, and you can pick some good gains. But again, and we'll try this on the next play, they're going man. They're shifting to our right. I'm going to keep it with the quarterback. They're taking a chance. Sometimes the defensive end gets blocked. You just don't know what he's going to be doing. Everybody and their brother shifts. Something to fool around with. Again, you got to have a special quarterback in order to make that work. But otherwise, I treat it more as just a basic run play for our halfback. You can pick up some decent yards with him. Again, it's your standard QB choice, but at least you can move your tight end around for extra blocking if needed. Next up is QB draw. Now, I'm a pretty decent fan of the QB draw from the gun sets. I think they're quick. Definitely much quicker than your halfback draws. What you can do is when you bring up the coach's cam, you notice the halfback blocking the center, the middle of the line. If you press hot route and to the left, he's blocking to the right side. It's kind of in reverse. Technically, if you go hot route and hit the directional pad to the right, he goes back to where he was. But I like this pretty well. Now I'm going to get stopped here for a bad gain. But you notice how quick the quarterback motion is. As soon as he pretty much gets the ball, he can run with it. Then it's just up to good blocking from everybody. Like, this guy came through. I mean, what do you do about it? But either way, don't negate QB draws, especially if you got a quarterback that can move a little bit. I like him. However, I do not like your basic halfback draws from the gun sets. It's stupid slow. I do not like them. We'll show it here. Look how slow this is. It takes forever for the halfback to get the ball. And even then, you're hoping for a hole somewhere, anywhere. You can't flip it. All you can do is just hope for good blocking and get something going. Here, this is a rare play to pick up that many yards. Most often than not, this will happen. It is what it is. Halfback draws from the gun are slow. You just kind of have to read your blocks, but I don't think you have enough time to read anything, to be honest. So take that for what you will. I'm not a fan. Next up is speed option. This is either the number 1 or number 2 run concept from the gun sets. I highly recommend it if you got a quarterback that can at least run a little bit. Okay, we'll go up against nickel again. Looks like they're going man and they're shifting that way. Thankfully, you can flip it. You go to the right or you can flip it to the left. Here, we'll go to the left because everybody and their brother seems to be all on the right side. We can snap it, and that's a great play by the defensive end. But we're going to pick up some yardage. We can call it again. We're going zone. Let's go to the right this time and see what happens. Defensive end played good there. But we get about 5 yards. Again, excellent play. If you're running any type of gun-oriented offense with a quarterback that can at least run a little bit, by all means use it. Be smart about it. It's just too good of a play. Okay, next up is halfback direct. This may be the number 1 run concept. Some people think it's cheese. I don't think it is. If it's cheese, we would be scoring touchdowns every time, and it certainly is not happening. It's very quick. You can't flip it or anything, but you don't have to because it's so quick. Here, I'm just reading blocks, but you can pick up some good gains with it for sure. Let's start going man. Here, I only pick up 3 yards with it. Again, it's not a guaranteed touchdown, but it is effective as long as you're patient with the blocking. Here, again, I only pick up 3 yards. Looks like we're going zone. We can try over here. We had more blockers on that side. We picked up a good gain there. By all means, if you're in the gun quite a bit and you don't have a quarterback that can run much, use halfback direct. It's just too good of a concept not to be using. Okay, that is it for the run plays. Let's talk about some pass plays. We'll start at the very top with linebacker attack. Now, as usual, 9 times out of 10, I'm looking for a short zone beater. In this case, it is our flat route with a tight end. That tells me I need to be on the right hash. So this is a right hash play for me. We'll select it. We'll go up against nickel. Looks like I think they're going man if I'm not mistaken. Let's see. They are going zones, what they're doing. Okay. Against zone, you have 2 possibilities. If you don't do anything, you only have 1. As of now, the tight end is the only good safe bet against zone in this particular case. We're going to leave it as is. And we'll give it to him. Not the best throw, but we're going to get up some yardage. And what we can do is, let's play this smart. Let's do this really easily here. Let's go up against a cover 2. That way we kind of know what to expect. All right, we're going zone. Again, as is, you only have the tight end to go to. But what you can do is, your post route could be effective if he has a route to help him out. And the most effective route to help him out is a go route. So you can hot route, circle to a go, and all you got your go post. Then you can do some stuff over the middle, especially against cover 2. Go post is usually more effective against cover 2, and this is going to get intercepted. We can try that again. But you catch my drift. That's a little bit better, and that's a pretty good catch. Not a very good throw. So if you hot route to circle 2 a go, you got 2 zone beaters. Otherwise, the rest of it is just not so much. Okay? The delayed route from the halfback is kind of useless. It takes him forever to get open. By the time he does get open, you're probably going to get sacked, or you want to throw to somewhere else. Okay? Now, let's talk about... let me go back to it. Let's do a basic cover 2 man. Okay, for a man beaters, it's pretty much everything else. Your post route can do well. Your corner can do well. Your curl can do well. Those are your 3 man beaters. You got 2 0 beaters as is, with the post and the corner. You also have a non-cover 0 beater, can be pretty much any of the 3, but your curl and your corner work out. But seriously, we got cover 2. Let's see if he can hit that. Nope, not a good throw. But anyways, you got 3 decent beaters here, so it's up to you if you think this is a good enough play for you. There are better pass plays in this formation than this one, but it works just fine, just depending on what you have. So what we can do is go and do random. Looks like they're going zone. They went cover 2, but I'm going to leave it as is. Go to the tight end, pick up some yards. Okay? Looks like they're going zone again. Maybe I want a hot route to go, or the curl to a go. I'm seeing cover 2 again. All right, that's good. Pick up a big game there. All right, now they're going man. They're going cover 1. I'm fixing to get sacked. And what we can do, let's just go ahead and do it. We'll save us some time. Let's go pass skeleton. I'm usually not a big fan of pass skeleton because I think you learn quicker if you go with normal. But either way, we'll go pass skeleton from here on out. Again, looks like they're going man. I'm seeing a cover 1. Let's try to hit the corner. Little 1-on-1 situation. Nice, 6 points. Again, they're going man, cover 1. Now, it looks like they're going cover 0. I could have went to either one, just not a very good throw. They're going zone. We can hot route again. I'm seeing cover 4. Let's just go to the tight end and be done with it. Again, as you can tell, you got pretty good options here. If you're not a big fan of hot routing, your zone options are a bit limited. Just keep food for thought. Okay, next up is PE read. This is one of my least favorite PE reads, but it works pretty well. Let's break it down. We need to go back to normal because I may be running it. So let's go PE read. And as is, you got to look for the short zone beaters, and you have 2. You got the zig out, and you got the flat route or the flare with the halfback. Depending on which hash you're on is who you're going to go to. They just switch roles, basically. So we are currently on the right hash, so we will use the right hash version. Okay? Looks like they're going man. You got a cover 0 beater with the go. The cross route's a good man beater. Your zig out's pretty good. Your slot route, that angle is terrible. Don't bother with it. And then you got the halfback. Don't forget to give it to the halfback if needed. That's just good coverage. Again, zone. Cover 2 is no different than PE rollouts out of the under center sets. You got your go route against cover 2. If he's not open, sometimes your crosser can get open. If not, your zig out should always be open. The only downside to this play, besides the useless R1 route, is that your tight end, it takes him a while to get open. It's just kind of slow. I don't know. I mean, and he's kind of a fast quarter or tight end. I think he's got 80 speed. I wish it would be faster, but you're dealing with tight ends here, so just kind of keep that in mind. But otherwise, you got 4 really good routes, and you can also, like I said, put it over here. Your short zone beater now becomes your halfback. We can bounce it to him. Looks like they're going with a corner blitz. You can pick up some yards there. But you're losing your cover 2 zone beater. It's more effective on the right hash than it is on the left because you're just running out of zone options at this point. But it can still be effective off the left hash depending on what they're calling. They were in that same play. They went with the corner blitz. Another nickel blitz. But at least you can pick up some yards with the halfback. Now they're going man, and they're bringing both safeties. We can try to go over the top. At least he has more grass to work with for 6 points. Again, really good play. Just keep that in mind about the tight end and that it takes him a little while to get open. Plus, I think it works just a tad bit better off the right hash. Okay, next up is cross post. I'm okay with this play. It's not one of my favorites, but as is, it is a right hash play because we got a flat wrap by the tight end. So let's just go from there. We're going zone. We can start there. You got technically 3 options in a sense. What I like to do for zone is I like to motion or slot over. Sometimes against like a cover 2, it kind of just depends on if there's a hole there. Sometimes he could get open over the middle. But our first route is always our halfback. He's our center beater. If you see a big hole open above your center, you can give it to him. Your safe zone beater, though, is going to be your flat route to the tight end. But sometimes that post can get open. I don't know if we could give it to him. That's just good defense there. But again, you got 3 routes to work with against zone. For man, you have, if you want to get in the habit, you could just motion this slot over to that side regardless of what you see. And he gets open a little bit more. Now he becomes a more useful route. If you kept him over there against man, he's got nowhere to go. He's running towards the sideline awful quick. But if you motion him back over here, I hate when he does that, he now becomes a post route, and you can hit that against man. Then you got the other big post route that's even better for cover 0. Then you got a flag route on the far left against cover 0, cover 1. And then your halfback can get open over the middle if he can get a good separation. So it just kind of depends. Like here's the halfback getting some yards. Here they're going man. Again, I advise you just to motion this guy over. And a lot more options become available to you. Here looks like they're bringing both safeties. And we may get 6 points. Okay. Again, this is a right hash play. Looks like they're going cover 1. Let's see if we can hit the flag. That's just good defense. But it was a one-on-one situation. So the biggest thing to remember here is your man beaters aren't, they're okay. They're not the greatest. Zone, they're just fine. It's a good play. It's not the greatest thing in the world, but you can definitely make use of it. Okay. Next up, we will talk about flanker cross. I've used this quite a bit. This is one of my favorite modern gun spread concepts. It's another either hash play. You got 2 short zone beaters off either side. The halfback on the left or the tight end on the right. We'll start off with the right hash. Against man, you got cover 0 with the go route. And then you got the crosser, the dig, the delayed out route with the tight end is excellent. The only bad man beater is your halfback, so you can ignore him. But everything else is viable. Here they're going zone. And what we can do against zone, this is man. Let's just do another man again. They're bringing both safeties. We'll just go over the top. Pick up a touchdown. They're going man again. We can try. Oh, man. Nope, not a good play. All right, they're going zone. This is what I wanted to say. Okay, again, zone, you only have 2 options, but they're pretty good. Your center beater is your crossing route over the middle. If not, just go to your tight end. I'm not seeing anything over the middle, really, so we'll just go to the tight end and pick up a really good game. Okay? Left hash, your tight end and your halfback reverse roles, but I think this play works best off the left hash because all 5 routes can be used. Over here, you cannot use the halfback. He just has to get open against man or zone. But over here, he gets open against zone, and at least your tight end can get open against man. So I don't even know they are going. Oh, and I pressed the wrong button. He still got a catch. Okay? But you still got tons of options. Again, I think this is a better left hash than right hash play because you gain an extra zone beater as such with the halfback. But it works great off either hash. Probably my favorite pass play in the formation. Unless I'm forgetting something. Okay, next up, let's go to corners. This is like a fun and gun route. If I was going with a fun and gun, but I want to do it from the shotgun, this would probably be in the playbook. Again, your short zone beater, your best one is your tight end. So this is a right hash play. Or going man here, you can go to either corner. But I'm going to try to go to the left just because he's got more grass. He's going to get double teamed. But against man, you got your corners, your tight end. We can try this. He can get pretty decent separation. The biggest thing is I want him to get underneath the defender. Okay? Again, zone, it's kind of your tight end over the middle, at least a little bit, and then it's your slot route, and that's kind of it. You don't have a whole lot of good zone options. I believe this is right hash play because of the tight end. Now, you would think you got a shallow route with your tight end. He could get open underneath, but he's kind of slow. Notice how kind of slow he can get. And it's not the tight end. He's got like 80 speed. Here, they're going zone again. Look here. See, he takes too big of a depth on his route. That's why I think you're better off just running this off the right hash. Here, they're going zone again. We'll just go to the slot. He got locked down. They're going zone again. We'll just go to him. And that's kind of it, really. It's an okay play. I would use it more for a fun and gun from the gun. But there are better pass plays in the formation. Next up, we got PA wide receiver in. It's a play action switch. This 3-route combo is scattered throughout all of the formations in this game. This is one of my least favorite because you really don't have a short zone beater, but you could still make it work, so let's try that. I always like to have the switch combo on the strong side of the field. So for me, this is a left hash play. Again, we'll just go up against nickel. It's fine. All right, against man, you got 2 cover 0 beaters, and you got the dig route. Looks like they're bringing both safeties. We can go to the wheel. Let's see if we can make a play here. That's good defense. They're going man again. They're doing cover 1. We can try. Oop, interception. That's a great play by the linebacker. That's the only downside to that. Crossing route or the dig, you just got to watch out to see if there's anybody open over the middle. The reason why there's a linebacker, we can break this play down. The reason why he was able to make a play here, notice this safety. He made the interception. He's just standing there. The reason why he's standing there is because our tight end isn't doing anything. He's just a blocker. So this safety has nothing to do but to sit here and become a spy, basically. And he's just sitting there. He's sitting there, and he can make a big play as such. Something to keep in mind. Okay, now we see both safeties double teaming the outside receivers, so we can go back to the wheel if we can. And I got hit as soon as I threw it. The only problem that I don't like with this play is there's no short zone beater. So they're doing another cover 0. We could try to go over the top. So what we can do, let's go up against cover 3. Cover 3 is a little bit harder to go up against. Okay. So against cover 3, what do you do here? It's kind of tough. You could go to the post if you can. He's about the only option you have against zone. I mean, it is what it is. There's just not enough zone beaters in this play to make use of it. You can try to give it to the halfback if you can, but otherwise you're kind of stuck with options against zone. So keep that in mind. It is like one of my least favorite play action switch plays in the game, but it can be effective depending on the defense. Next up is tight end post. We technically have 2 short zone beaters, the halfback and the delayed route and the little hitch by the Z receiver, but you can't rely all the time on the delayed route because he may get hit, he may get knocked down, and then you're really screwed. So I think it's safer to use this as a right hash play, so we'll just do that. Okay, he's going here. Okay, here's the problem with this play. With this particular play, I don't like the man beaters. The only good man beaters, to be honest, is your tight end and your X receiver. And the problem is they're too close to each other. I'm not a big fan of this route right there because it gets picked off way too often. And if you notice here how close the tight end and the wide receiver can get to each other. By the time, look, I mean, that's too close. The spacing is terrible. So just keep that in mind. Okay. Looks like we're going zone. The only good thing about this play, to be honest, is I like the little hitch route for zone. It's about as safe as you can ask. He can make some decent yards with it. It's practically a screen play, but without any blockers. Here, they're going zone. About the only thing you have is your post route with your tight end or your hitch. We can try to give it to the tight end. Oh, it's a good little throw. Zone, I don't mind it. Man, it's tough. Now, what we can do is we can try to do it on the left hash with the delayed route. But then, where's your zone beaters? Your hitch actually is not a very good zone beater on the strong side because he'll just get hit in the backfield. I don't know what else you could do over the. I mean, the tight end maybe it can get open. It's tough. So again, you're probably better off on the right hash. But even then, I'm not a big fan of the man beaters. One of my least favorite plays in the formation. But I felt like we had to cover it. Next up is halfback corner. This may be the best play in the formation. It's one of my favorite cover or third and long plays because you got to go post and you got to come back. It's just excellent across the board. I like to have the go post on the short side because your post can get open. He's got more grass to work with. He points towards the middle. Only downside to this play is there's no short zone beater. So if they go like a cover 3 or a cover 4, it's going to be kind of tough. Here they're going cover 2. We can try to go over the middle, just not a very good throw. They're going zone again. You got a center beater with your tight end, and you got the post. That's it. The halfback is useless. The comeback is useless. The go route is just not very good. So you only got 2 zone beaters. Here we can try to get the tight end, but it gets picked off. That's just a great play by the linebacker. Now they're going man. Man, you got a couple more options. Of course, you got the go route, you got the post, and you got the comeback. The comeback, I love, love, love in this game. You can do some serious damage with it against man. Here they're going man again. They're going cover 1. I'll probably still go back to the comeback. He just does a great job of separating himself between the ball and the defender. Here they're going man again. Looks like another cover 1. You can try to give it the tight end, pick up some yards there. Again, this is a better man beater, but the go post is just excellent for third and long. As you can tell, majority of the routes are deep, so this is a deeper combo or deeper play if you need it. Only a real downside, again, there's not enough zone beaters, but I only use this play for third and long anyways, so I really don't need anything third and short, or I don't need any short route to begin with, and even if I do get something, it's usually the tight end over the middle, which I wish I was able to pull off here. I could probably do a cover 4. But either way, it's a really good play. I highly recommend it. Again, it's probably the top play in the formation. Next up is halfback out. This may be like my number 3. You can work off either hash, kind of, sort of. We'll take some time with this one. It works better as a right hash play because our short zone beater is what? The halfback going underneath. So we'll go off the right hash. Here they're going man. Your man beaters, you got 2 go routes, you got a dig, and you got an out route. You got plenty of options here, and I love this deep dig. That's just a bad throw. Here they're going man again. Both safeties coming up. I'm fixing to get sacked. Get it. Oh, okay. The only problem on the right hash against the zone is you only have one option, and that is your halfback. Here, he can get open underneath pretty much every time. But against man, this play works better. Again, they're bringing both safeties. We could try to go to the tight end. I threw it off the back foot. That's good defense. They're going man here. Both safeties coming up. We can go back over the top. But the biggest problem is there's just not a lot of short zone, or not a lot of zone beaters here. Now, if you move it over to the left, it gets a little bit more interesting. Now, what we'll do is we'll call a couple different things. Let's do a soft cover 2. I don't want to waste your time here, so let's go past skeleton. Yes. And we'll go back here. And let's do a cover 2. Cover 2, you got, on the left hash, there's only one zone beater, more or less, and that is your flag route. But if you got time to throw it, you can roll out a little bit, and you can really bounce at this guy for 6 points, if I can get in there. But it's only cover 2. If you went cover 3 or cover 4, you're kind of screwed. There's nothing you can really do with it. Okay? If you went, the only other option I know to do is, let's see if we can pull this off. Let's go back to normal. We're going to go back to halfback out, and let's do a cover, we'll do a prevent 4. It's about the same thing. What I like to do, if I'm on the left hash against zone, I like to motion my halfback over here because I could turn him into a center beater. Let's see if he can get open over the middle, and he can right there. It's a center beater if the hole is there. If it's not, and you do not have the option to go over here, it's tough. I mean, you got to take your chances on that. So this isn't the best zone beaten play in the game. It's excellent against man. It's got killer stuff against man. We can go here, and they're going man here. Nope, they're going zone. So here's what happens when you don't have anything open against zone. All right, they're going man. Again, you got excellent stuff here. You even got your flag route open because he now has more grass to work with. This is intercepted. Let's see if I can stop him, and he's gone. But you get my point. It's a really good play. I highly recommend it if you're going to use this formation much at all. Here they're going man. Let's see if we can get this dig. Oh, I got hit as soon as I threw it. Either way, I love the play. Next up, we got flanker screen. As usual, I like to have my screener, the one who's going to get the ball on the short side of the field. I think he gets open a little bit better against zone. Screens work best against zone compared to man. So, the only thing I don't like about this particular play is the post route. I wish it was a default go. It's easier to go to him if there's a cover zero. But if not, you just go to your wide receiver. Here they're going zone. You go to the wide receiver, and hopefully you can pick up some decent yard. That's a great play right there. They're going zone. You can go here. Here they're going man. They're going cover two. You're taking your chance if you got the only reason why that worked is because I had time to throw it. Nobody came through, so I had time to throw it to the post. What you can do to make this a little bit better is motion your halfback down. Sometimes he gets in the way. Sometimes he doesn't get to the block enough. But he can become an extra blocker. A little quicker than if you just left him at his original spot. You go here. That's just good defense. Here they're going zone. High snap. We can still get something from this. We pick up 5 yards. It is what it is. Again, I wish this was a go route instead of a post. You don't have enough time to do anything. But it's a good screenplay if you use this formation a lot. Okay, last play is your halfback. No, I'm sorry. We got a few more to go. Sorry about that. We have wide receiver under. I'm not a big fan of this play. I think it works best as a left hash because that's our only short zone beater is our halfback, so we can try that. All right, they're going zone. The only zone beaters you have is, the crossing route or the shallow underneath can be a center beater. Otherwise, you got to go to the delayed route in your halfback. And the problem is, he takes a while to get open. By the time he gets open, you're probably going to get stuck as such. Man, you got a few more options. You got the go. You got the crosser. Sometimes the shallow can get open as well. The problem with the crosser, you don't have a whole lot of room to work with. Okay, so it's not one of my favorites. I'll just be honest. It's very limited in what it can do. Here it's cover one. He could have got open there. Just wasn't a very good throw. They're going man again. I'd still probably prefer to go to him, and he still drops it. But it looks like they're going man again. A little bit better play, but he drops it again. Problem is, it's just the zone beaters. There's just nothing here to really work with. Even if you went over to the right hash, I'm not seeing it. There's not even a basic post route. That R1 could be it. The problem is, it's too skinny. So, there's just not a whole lot with that play. That's probably one of my least favorite for sure. In and ups, you see on the left side of the screen here, this is definitely a left hash. Just because of the shallow, the drag. Here they're going man. You got 2 cover zeros. They take a little while to get open because they're 2-steppers. This play would have been 10 times better if they were basic goes, but it is what it is. As you can tell, it takes a while for them to get open. And even then, the tight end got clogged down with the wide receiver there. We can try to go to the other one. It takes a while, but as long as you got protection, you can make it work. Okay, here they're going man again, bringing both safeties. We can try to go over the top again. Or, if you want, we're going cover zero again. You can go to the shallow. He's an option. Going cover zero again. That's what they want to do, is cover zero all the time. All right, they're going zone. Your only zone beater is your shallow. But he can get open and he can do some damage with it. This isn't the best play in the world, but it's viable. Especially if that's shallow, if you could ever get it to go. Here they're going zone again. They're doing extra protection down low. But at least I was able to get to him for about a yard. Okay, it's not the best play, but it's viable. Okay, last play is Halfback Screen. Not a bad play, to be honest, out of the halfback screens in the gun sets. We can go against nickel again. Man, you got two go routes. You got the post. What I like to do is I like to have a short, easy man beater somewhere. Because as we know, screens work best against zone. Here they're going man. What I like to do is hot route R1, 2, and out. Just something to get him going if I don't want to go to the screen. Okay, here they're going man again. If they bring both safeties, I can go over the top. Otherwise, I'll just go to the out. And then what you have is a package play. You got a screen on the left and out on the right and some goes if needed. Here they're bringing both safeties. We can go over to the top for 6 points. But this play, you can also go to the halfback if you want to. You just got to hope for good blocking. You're not going to find it as much against man, though. But what we can do is go up against zone, and we'll go cover 3 is fine. It works a tad bit better against zone if you can get good blocking. It wasn't very good there. Let's see if we can try this again. That's terrible blocking. Nobody was able to get that guy. And this may not be all that great against cover 3. Just kind of depends on the throw. That's a little bit better. That's what you want to see. So against zone, you only have enough time to go to your screen, but that's what the play is for, is to give it to him, especially against zone, if he can get something going. Okay, that should be it. Quick recap. The sub-packages are fine. They're your normal basic stuff. Motion is okay. The plays themselves, the run game, it's got all your standard gun-related run stuff, which is fine. The passing game, it just kind of depends. I don't know if you noticed, but a lot of these plays work best off the right hash compared to the left, but that's not saying a whole lot. It just kind of depends on what offense you're trying to put together. But just a quick recap. Linebacker attack, I like it. I like PE read. Cross post is okay. Flanker cross, I love. Corners is okay. PA wide receiver in is just okay. Tight end post, it's barely okay. Halfback corner is excellent. Halfback out, I personally like it because I like in the deep dig, although it has some weaknesses against zone. Flanker screen is fine. It could be better if it was a cover 0 with the go route instead of the post. Wide receiver under, I do not like at all. In and ups is just okay. And halfback screen, it does what it does, and it's okay if you can get it to work. All right, hopefully this was helpful. I'm really liking this series, and I'm looking forward to breaking down more formations. There's like 100 of them in the game, so it's going to take a while. All right, guys, I'll talk to you later.